larger. I didn't say it in language, it was just intention. Looked at the spider with an appreciation that it's animated and that the same spirit animating it is a derivative of the spirit that is animating me, you know, that type of thing. And the spider responded. You know, I said, okay, with pictures and concepts, not words, if you're aware of that, move to your left. And all of a sudden, it would just move to its left and stop. And I'd say, okay. And the spider, same thing. It said, yeah, a spider can't remember from one moment to the next. I mean, it has knowledge. It can access the knowledge it needs. But its brain is not going to store memories. In other words, the way the spider made me understand was like this. It said, okay, well, if I say, remember me from yesterday, how we got along, it's not going to remember that. So if, say, I got along with a spider yesterday, and so it didn't bite me because I was in the moment connected with it, it's not going to have the memory the next day. So I can't sit there and rely upon its memory and think, oh, it won't bite me because now we're friends. It won't remember that. So you have to be very in the moment with animal beings. Okay? That's what I learned. It's very interesting. Like there was a spider that was ascending to the ceiling. You know how they hang on their web and they move up? I said, okay, I'm going to connect to it, focus my will on appreciation of it and communication with it. And then I intended for it to stop. It stopped. I said, okay, start. And it started. And I said, okay, stop. And it stopped. And then I let it go. I'm not going to sit there and make it jump through hoops. I mean, it would finally be like, fuck you, you know, I mean, I'm showing you. You get it yet? I mean, animals are really, you know, sometimes they'll ignore you. If you can't get it, they're like, okay, you're fucked up. See, because humans are fucked up to animals. Because you don't know this. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is why in The Healing Begins Now, when I say that a deer can mean different things doing the same action, well, yeah. It's this type of psychic understanding that you work out in the moment with the animal. Once for yes, twice for no, whatever. But don't make the animal do something that isn't normal or natural for it. If it likes to bob its head like a duck, then let the duck bob its head. Ducks do that. I communicate with birds all the time. Deer like to flap their tail or stomp or lower their head and bring it back up. You don't need to speak out loud. In fact, the less speaking you do, the better. And you don't have to sit there and meditate. Just do it. If you try to focus and meditate, you can actually inhibit yourself. Inhibit the flow. Ironically, but it's the truth. Like playing a guitar. If you try too hard, sometimes you can screw it up. Anybody that gets into the zone, you hear about the zone, suddenly it's like your hand's playing the guitar all by itself. You're in a basketball game and suddenly you can't miss your shots. The zone. Well, this is what I'm talking about. This type of zone. The other day I was taking a shower and I opened up the curtain to take a shower and there was a spider sitting there. Like I said, 2 years ago I would have squashed it. Now I just calmly was patient. I intended through pictures that water is going to be coming out. I didn't want him to get hurt or killed, so he has to get out of the bathtub. Then I waited. I was patient for him to sense my energy and all of that. And then finally he just got up and went right in front of me and went to a wall right in front of me. But it was just, you know, a little, the outside of the bathtub, and stopped there. And I said, that's fine, as long as he was out of the bathtub. And then I went in and took a shower. Animals will respond to you. Can a spider tell you what's going on in the world? Yes, because of scalar reality. If the larger mind wants to communicate through the spider, it can. And the larger mind of Earth, which is a derivative of the spirit and the whole thing, knows what's going on. Do you understand? So when I say you can get the truth from a duck, from a deer, from a frog, from a spider, this is what I'm talking about. The larger consciousness of the planet knows what's going on. On the internet, you're hit with 10 millisecond flashes to program your mind. I made this video called The Walking Stick. I had my picture on there. They put freak under my left eye. It was so obvious. F-R-E-A-K. And that was it. You know, I tried to show my picture to be diligent for people, but not if they're going to do that. I can't have you listening to this if you're looking at a picture that's telling you to think freak about me or crazy or this or that. That's why Change the Healing begins now, because if there are words on that that are getting in the way, I looked at that, the stats for it, over 1,000 people listened to part 1, but under 150 people made it through all of the 27 parts. And it dropped off. It just got lower and lower. And, people like Chris Crocker get 8 million views of his video. I'm giving out good information, and do you know that I have like 280 subscribers or something like that? Not even all of my subscribers got through that whole series. So I knew something was up, so I had to take my pictures off. But it isn't me that matters anyway. This idea that, some people talk to me like I said before, you're like a saint. No, man, I'm a therapy. I'm a student of the Creator. I'm trying everything I can to reconnect to it. The creative spirit is the teacher. I am not. I get the lessons and I relay them to you. But I am not special. I'm no more special than you. I was totally corrupt for most of my life because of the demonic control of my mind throughout my life. And I thank the Spirit for pulling me out. And yes, it's not easy, and it's up and down, and sometimes it's very traumatic. When I was first awakened, my whole life turned upside down, man. You don't understand how your reality can be changed. Literally changed. Not just third dimensional either. And like I told you before, I had nobody holding my hand through that. I had to work through it with the creative spirit. And it's tough. It's tough. I'm not telling you this stuff's going to be easy. Because it isn't. The earth is under an infection. You're going to have some resistance. But what you will find as you start to learn to play this guitar of life is that consistently, the more you connect to love and the spirit, the less this type of thing antagonizes you. You already have good and bad in your mind. You already have positive and negative experiences in your life. When you open up your perception, yes, it may give access to entities to try to bug you through dual meaning, through people. But you also get the positive too. So you're expanding. You're still, the mix is pretty much the same anyway. All right? You're expanding your consciousness. You gotta know. You gotta know now, because this is how the information about how to fix this and what you need to do is going to be spread. Through the language of life, not the language of the internet, where you're not sure what is right and what is wrong. Because humans are very easily possessed by entities at any given time, and their mind taken over at any given time, seeking humans for your primary source of information will not be wise. Okay? Because demons are very crafty and they can mimic good intentions. But when you're out in nature, there's so much life out there, they can't cover that many past receivers. You know what I'm saying? They just can't do it. And don't accept one answer. You'll start to be in tune with nature's response. A crack in the ice in that right moment, the crack in a tree, all these things you'll see. Your whole reality is you on a larger level. So it will respond to you. You've just got to know that. You have to open up to that. And you have to play with it for a while, because at first you'll be like, no. And then it'll be like, oh my God, this can't be. Pretty soon you realize it's not coincidence. All these knocks you're hearing in my house right now, those are entities speaking. Those are spirits. There's a lot of spirits around me, and they're not all demons. They're involved with this as well.